We are recording.
Okay.
Do you believe in the healing power of love?
Do I believe in the healing power of love?
Yeah.
Yes. Question mark. Yes, I do.
Why? What's the proof? Give me an example.
That's putting me on the spot. Well, I'm sorry. Now I'm thinking of Cher. What does Cher say?
Do you believe in life after love? Do you believe in life after love?
I do believe in life after love. I agree with Cher. Yes. What, you were asking an example?
Were you ever healed, or did you heal someone else?
May I introduce the concept of puppies to you?
Oh my God, Coco.
Coco, that's my puppy.
Who saved who?
I don't know who saved who. I'm not going to get a bumper sticker of it. But
well, wait. Okay, before we get too far.
Yes.
Let me say, welcome back to the Hoot and Holler Podcast. This is episode 3, and I have a very special guest. This person is a jewelry designer. This person creates greeting cards, and this person is also a comedian. We have Michelle Tobbi.
Thank you for having me. It's really fun. I'm excited to be on your podcast.
You know, we have a lot of fun here in the studio.
Oh yeah, in the studio, yes.
In this very warm LA apartment.
And listener, since you can't see me, Eric is actually just laying on his bed and giving me the eyes. I'm sitting on the beanbag chair, so I got prime seating here. But I opted out of sitting on the bed with him, which I feel bad about. But
there was an open invitation.
There was, and I said, should we just get under the covers at this rate? But
whoa,
I know it's too much.
Too much, too soon.
Let's not be
maybe
that crazy.
Like 4 episodes in.
But the first thing you asked me was, tell me about the healing power of love, and so I felt that was too much, too fast, too soon.
Oh no, that's a lowball question on this podcast.
True. Oh my God. Okay, now I'm scared.
Just get ready.
Okay.
You do stand-up comedy.
I do.
I've been to a couple of your shows.
Yes.
And the very first one I went to, I was taken off guard because you didn't really tell me anything.
I did not.
You got up on that stage, and the first thing you talk about is my Shrek-themed birthday party, which happened like 3 days before.
Yeah. I had to bring it up. I mean, if you get invited to a Shrek birthday party and not mention it to a crowd of people, I mean, come on.
I was scared that you were gonna like point to me and be like, that's him.
Actually, it crossed my mind, and I was like, no, I know you would hate it.
I would hate that.
It was just funny, especially that was like new material. I just kind of threw that out there.
Yeah, but I mean, very new, because I was like, this happened literally 3 days ago. Like, how long do you prepare your material in advance?
Some of it is like, oh, this is something that happened to me a while ago, and then some of it literally it'll happen to me that day, and then I just want to talk about it. And I do best weirdly like under pressure and like improvising, and like I'm actually good at that, so I don't really mind it. But I approach it as I want to talk about something that either like makes me laugh or just something that it's like on my mind. I just need to talk to someone. I mean, therapy isn't free, but this was, so.
This is close.
Yeah, this is close.
Second best option, stand up.
Yeah, an audience that might laugh.
Yeah. That's what was crazy about that show, because I thought maybe a couple people might unalive themselves on the stage that night.
There was some really interesting characters, and that's just what you get with comedians, because sometimes you'll talk to them backstage and you go, what a guy. That guy is a guy. What a nice person. And they go on stage and they talk about like unaliving themselves or like stuff like that. And people are like, haha, that's hilarious. And I'm just watching like horrified. I'm like, where did that nice little bunny I met backstage? Like, that guy was so nice, and now he's like turned crazy. But that's just, some people just, that's their character, or however they want to take it.
The one guy that stood out to me was he was like a hippie. He was like an older man, and he was a hippie. Do you remember this?
I do.
And he got on stage. He kept doing this like rocker yell after every sentence, and he would be like, I've been trying to get into comedy and music for the past 40 years, and I still live in my car. Yeah.
Yep.
And it felt so LA to me. Like, I've never felt more ingrained in the LA culture than in that moment.
Than that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, that guy was also, again, really chill backstage. Everyone has a style. Everyone has their own way of saying things. you remembered his joke, you know.
I did.
There's some people who literally will kill on stage, and then you ask anyone in the audience, what was that? What was one of his jokes? No one will remember anything. It's really weird.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's really strange.
But that must be freeing too, to know like you could bomb on that stage and no one will even remember.
That's true. Yeah, I had a guy one time be like, you do stand-up comedy? And I said, yeah. And he goes, you're like, that's so brave of you to just like go up there and like bomb and bomb and bomb and bomb and bomb and bomb over and over, night after night. And I'm like, okay, please stop, you know. And he's never even seen my comedy, so I'm like,
no, like, way to make assumptions.
Yeah, I was like, thank you. And I said, thanks, I'm brave, you know, like, thank you.
So we met in an improv class.
Yes.
We went to the Second City in Hollywood.
In Hollywood.
It was prime location.
Yeah.
You know, poop on the street, poop on the sidewalk right outside the theater.
It's Hollywood. Hollywood isn't the cleanest place, unfortunately. If you're going to come to California or Los Angeles, there's so many other places to go. But
don't go to Hollywood.
Don't go to I think once.
We were right in between a wig store and like a sex shop, I think. Is that right?
I thought the location was okay. It was upstairs, like up all these stairs, which I don't mind, but I was surprised because it's not ADA compliant for people
not
who
at all.
are wheelchair, like who have a wheelchair or have other ailments. And that kind of like always threw me, as such like a big company did not even put that into consideration.
Yeah, if you want to see a Second City show and you're in a wheelchair, good luck.
Let me ask you a question. How did you like?
Oh, wow. Turning the tables.
I am turning the tables. How did you like doing improv at Second City? Because I'm going to tell you what I thought you thought, but go ahead.
Wait, what you thought that I thought about Second City?
Yes.
Oh, this is like, okay, I'm scared now.
No, you go ahead and tell me, and I'll tell you what I see.
Well, our experience was unique because
Yeah.
we each did one class in person. We did one full class in person.
One full class, and then did like the second class, and then the pandemic happened.
And then we moved completely onto Zoom.
Yeah.
And I think I thrived in the Zoom environment because I have a very expressive face and I also have awkward limbs. So
this guy was perfect for close-ups.
I was made for Zoom improv. It was great. So I was like, I don't have to do I don't have to pantomime. I don't have to pretend I'm washing dishes.
Yeah.
And I could just like emote with my face. And I thought that was great. So I think I thrived in that environment. But I do feel like I missed out on a big part of the improv experience.
Okay.
But, you know, I enjoyed my time there.
So I feel the same way. Like the whole reason I wanted to join improv was so I could like get more comfortable on stage. And that one class did that, you know, doesn't do that much. Like, you know, it's just kind of an intro. And the class that we took was like, I don't know what, the first class was like 6 weeks or something.
Yeah, something like that.
You know, I remember also that that was around the same time as like when Kobe died.
Who?
Kobe, the basketball player.
Oh, okay.
Eric, what? So when Kobe died, I remember I was walking to class and I just hear someone on the street walking past me, and she was on the phone and she said something, Kobe died, helicopter or something. And I said, what? Everyone was just talking about that day. It was so nuts when it happened. So that same day is like the building that Second City, like the side of the building has already a mural of Kobe on it.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I
And
didn't
so
know that.
everyone, so by the time class ended, which is like only an hour, I came downstairs and people are taking photos. It was just, I just remember that was a really big memorable part. And then a couple of weeks later, then the pandemic happened. And
a 1-2 punch.
It was just a lot
for the Angelinos.
It was nice to do Zoom, you know, because at least it was like something during the pandemic to do.
It was kind of the only thing I looked forward to at that time.
Yeah.
Because I mean, my whole day was just working remotely and then sitting around. And then once a week, I would do improv for 3 hours.
Yeah. You know, after we came out of improv, I was like, oh, cool. Once we're back to normal after the pandemic, maybe like Eric will want to do like improv again. And I don't think that's the case.
I think if I did improv again, I would have to start from like class 1
again
and do it all over again, because
okay.
I just think, again, I have none of that physical performance ability yet, because I never had to do that.
I feel the same. Yeah.
And also it's been 3 or 4 years since I did any improv at all.
That's so nuts.
I just need a refresher. I'm not ready to jump right back in.
We've known each other for 4 years. I'm like, wait, what?
2019.
That's nuts.
2020.
2020.
Yeah, because I started. That was the reason I started is because I was doing these informationals at work with writers, and I was asking them, oh, what is like something that's really helpful getting you into where you are in your career right now? And they would all say improv classes, and they said it helps them think on their feet, and it helps with the writing process and learning character. So I was like, I'm gonna do that. So it was like my New Year's resolution. So I started January 2020 was my first class.
And you were really good, by the way. Like, I don't know if you know, like, you were so funny, and like, you're really good with character.
Thanks.
It's just fun to always like be in a scene with you.
We had some really good scenes together.
Yes.
A few that come to mind: Porch Pirates.
So that was my concept, and it was one of those concepts where I was like, someone else take the reins because I don't know what to do with this anymore. But I thought it was funny to like have a concept of porch pirates, but they themselves acted like pirates, but they were also stealing Amazon packages. So I thought that was funny.
I think we were on like a ship.
I don't know what we were on because we were in Zoom, and our
true.
Professor, whoever we want to call him professor, our improv teacher, was like so unsupportive of every idea that we brought up. I was like, why are you being like this?
That reminds me of, I think this was one of my favorite moments of my time at Second City. And that was, so we had a show.
Okay.
We did live Zoom.
Oh yeah. We
shows.
had live Zoom shows, and people would come and like come into the group chat, whatever,
and watch the show. And they were all recorded on Zoom so we could watch the performance after. Mm-hmm. There was one particular person in our class. I'm going to call him Roger.
Okay, Roger.
I don't know if you remember.
I know you're talking about. Yeah. You don't have to like, I know exactly who you're talking about.
And he was quite a character.
Yeah.
And he would always talk over our teacher. And at the end of the class, our teacher was giving us feedback, and he kept talking over the teacher, and our teacher exploded.
Yeah.
He was yelling for probably 5 minutes straight.
Yes. And by the way, this was the very last, like, that we just did our show, and he was giving us notes on what we just performed. And it was like our very last show, and that was our last meeting. And the teacher recorded this whole thing. So now we have an hour of him, of our show, and the last half of our show of him just yelling and screaming and telling us that we weren't great. It was just so weird. Oh, and then I hated that. Oh, the vanilla scene. Were you going to say the vanilla scene is the second one?
The vanilla
or the
scene.
twin one?
Oh, the twins was good. Wait, what was the vanilla scene?
So the vanilla scene, basically we worked at an like ice cream shop. Something about we were ice cream shop owners or something. And we were talking about, the whole concept was something about like vanilla ice cream. But the notes the teacher gave us was like, so the vanilla scene, and like me and Eric like perk up like on the video, and he goes, it was just giving vanilla. And we're like,
oh my God, I do remember that.
Yeah. I was like, I think you could see my face. I think I just was like, I've lost all respect for you, because it was like, I already didn't really have that much respect for them to begin with because I didn't like his choices. And he just like, nothing ever impressed him. Even people who were really great, it wasn't enough.
Never.
And I never thought he was a good performer. Like, he would jump in sometimes, and I was like, I don't really like your performance.
But, give notes to the teacher.
Yeah, but I can't do that because we're paying him. I don't know.
We took like our 8 or 9 classes throughout Zoom, like 2 years of the pandemic.
Yes,
we were doing this, and we reached the final class, which is it's like a showcase. So you work for like 6 months on a show, and then you perform that show every single week. You do like 3 months of previews or something to like workshop the show. And then you're like slowly changing your scenes, changing your acts as you go. And then I think the last 3 months are where you've locked it down and you're just performing. But I feel like we got to a point where we were with the same people for so long. It was hard to know like how seriously people were going to take this. If people were actually like interested in performing a show, or if they were just like, this is a way to like kill some time during the pandemic. Yeah. And it was expensive.
Yeah, this wasn't cheap. And then they were asking us to like shell out even more money. And
I think we both auditioned.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Dude, I forgot.
We auditioned, and I was so nervous. And then we got accepted. But I think they accepted everyone because Like as long as like you had
money.
a wallet,
yeah, because they wanted
you
money.
would get accepted.
Yeah.
We were both so conflicted. We were like, do we do this? Do we pay all this money for a virtual class? Because they also said we won't, if they open up, they won't switch us to be in person. Like if you sign up now, it's going to be virtual the whole time. Or you could hold off and hope that an in-person class started.
Yeah.
And I knew, I was like, if I don't take this class, I think it's the end of my improv career. Because I was like, once I'm off the train, I'm going to be...
Is that what...
It's kind of over.
That's how you felt, huh?
That's how I felt.
Damn.
So we didn't go through with it. And I was kind of upset for a little bit. But sure enough...
They never reopened, even though they said they were going to reopen. And like I found, like I heard through the grapevine, like they closed their lease in that building like a very long time ago.
Oh, really?
And kept promising.
So not only did they not reopen, they shut down the entire...
Like Hollywood one.
Hollywood
now it's just
program.
online. And then, which is crazy because there's only 3 locations. It's like Toronto, Chicago, which is the original, and then Second City, Hollywood. And then they kept saying, we have big news. We have some big news coming, like on their Instagram.
Yeah, they were teasing it.
They were teasing. And I said, oh my gosh, I would send it to Eric. I'm like, this is so exciting. They're going to reopen or whatever. And they finally revealed it. And it was them saying that they're opening a new location in New York City.
Yeah.
Which it's like, why not us? There's so many performers out here. So now it's just out here. It's Groundlings, I think UCB. And there's another one that's like a big thing, like the Pack Theater or...
It's really sad.
Yeah.
Were there any topics or themes of scenes that you just wanted to avoid at all costs?
Not really. What do you mean?
Really?
Well,
like
what
for
do you mean
me,
by that?
so for me, if there was ever a scene where I had to be like high, I could not do it because I've never experienced that in real life.
Being high, yeah.
So then I'm like, I feel so stupid pretending to be like a stoner in this scene and I don't know what I'm doing, and it just felt weird.
Yeah.
So I dreaded those scenes, and those were pretty popular topics that came around.
You're not wrong. Like that was just because that's a really easy character to just fall into.
Yeah.
Just like act like you're spacing out, I don't really know. I don't know if there was, honestly, characters, like character work, it was so difficult in my opinion.
Like what kinds of characters though? Were there any in particular that you struggled with?
When it comes to some political things, I will be like, wait, who is that? Or how does that person sound? Or what's that catchphrase? And one game that we did was called Radio. Did you ever play that one?
I don't think so.
The crowd, the audience would give us a channel, a radio channel, and be like, your, country music and your CNN. And someone gave me like Rush Limbaugh radio or something. And then I was like, okay. And I know who that is, but I couldn't remember one stereotypical thing about him that I was like, I don't know if I'm saying this right, and that like put me, and I felt so weird because I'm usually good at that stuff and being quick. That was like a huge miss, and I was upset.
Oh no.
I know, but it's okay.
I don't know who that is. Is that like a political commentator?
Yes,
or something?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember that dread. Like when you would be in a scene with someone and then you'd see them kind of like recline back into their seat, and then they'd pull out their little fingers and you'd be like, oh no, don't tell me. And they'd put their fingers to their lips.
Oh, that they're like smoking or something.
And I'd go, no, please, no.
Yeah.
I should have jumped in and been like, wow, what a great lollipop.
Exactly. But that's what that you could change it.
I know, I should do that next time. There was one particular Zoom lesson that happened in every class.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's the musical class.
They purposely wouldn't tell the students in any class when the musical class would be, because people would purposely miss it.
It would be, they'd bring like a pianist.
Yeah.
A pianist.
Yes.
And
someone gifted in the piano.
And the piano arts.
Yeah.
And we would have to improvise musical songs.
Yeah. Which is really difficult to come up with music on the spot.
And I'm not a singer, so
and that was,
I dreaded
they kept
it.
telling us too, like, oh, and you don't have to be a singer. It's actually funnier if you're not a singer. And I'm like, is it? Is this funny? Is this funny for you? Is my terrible singing voice hilarious?
But the thing is that I feared it but I also loved it.
Yay! I didn't know how you felt about that.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun because it was like more challenging. I don't know if have you ever seen a show of people doing musical improv?
No, never.
Basically, it's like they would take a historical event or like a person, someone in history, and then base a whole musical improv around that person and some facts that the audience would give about them.
Whoa.
So it kind of turned into like Hamilton type of thing because the person they chose for mine was like Thomas Jefferson. The show that they put on was so funny. And I was like, I remember going up to them afterwards. I was like, this is so difficult to do. Creating jokes and then having it reoccurring jokes, like, you know, having it payoffs and also creating music, you know, and having lyrics that actually like hit is so difficult. And I was in awe.
I can't imagine because just like coming up with a single rhyme in the musical class was hard enough.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing a whole 1 hour musical show.
And they were really good singers. It wasn't even like...
So it wasn't funny because they were bad.
It wasn't funny because they were bad. They were actually like amazing singers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Back when we had in-person classes, there'd be a requirement. We have to go to a certain number of shows and we had like a punch card.
Yep.
And we had to get it punched and prove, I think it was like maybe 2 or 3 classes or 2 or 3 shows you had to see per class.
Yeah. Do you remember seeing any shows?
I saw one show. It was like, I think it was the showcase show, but for the people at that time. And it was so good.
It was Canuck as fuck.
Yeah.
It was a showcase one, and that was like a whole hour. I remember, did we see that together? Maybe we saw it different times.
We might have.
One of our teachers, our last improv teacher was like originated that show in Canada.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm just saying this.
Wow. No, I believe it.
I feel like that's correct. I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. But she was great too. Her name was Leslie Seiler. She was like the best.
Oh yeah, we love her.
I love her. I don't name drop her every day. She's so fun.
She was so supportive.
She wasn't actually gave like actual notes and not telling us this was bad and then no other feedback.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Like she would break it to you like, this could be better. I could see, or she would tell, even if it was like silly, she'd be like, I like that. Like she's like, I like that you did that. I feel like you could probably push it further. And it's like, I will push it further. You know, like this was a good idea.
Yes.
So, and that's what these exercises are. Like you kind of do weird like spitball games kind of thing in improv. And then that turns into a scene. This is just how it works.
And that's the mark of a good teacher. Someone who like gives you a note and then you're excited to take it versus someone who just shuts you down and you're like, well, I give up.
Exactly.
I want to talk more about people in our classes and give them code words.
Sorry, I'm going to give you 1 second. This is like the most eye contact I've ever gotten from Eric in my life. And
really?
This is like, I'm starting to like fall in love, guys. Sorry. I got distracted. I was like, he's staring at me for so long.
Oh my God. I do like to make intense eye contact with my guests. It's
That's how he draws you in.
It's part of the experience. Yeah, so I want to talk about other people in our classes and I want to give them code words so they don't know who we're talking about.
That's fine.
Let's call him Pierre.
Okay.
Pierre was an interesting character because he was kind of living this dual life between Los Angeles and Australia.
Okay. Now I'm like, who's Pierre? Oh, Pierre, of course.
Of course, Pierre.
I think he was, so before, I know you're probably going to get into it, but he was like a pathological liar, right? Like I'm not.
Pretty sure.
There's no way. I mean, some of these things that he said, I was like, wait, what?
He would come in, we would have to go into like breakout rooms to work on our scenes.
Yeah.
And every time I was in a breakout room with him, he would just share these wild stories. He'd be like, yeah. Oh, wait, how do I do Australian? Like,
no.
Yeah. Last night. Nar. Okay, wait, I'm not even going to try.
We're in a breakout room.
Wait, that was good.
Thanks. This is what we learned. No, I'm kidding.
We never learned accents. I wish we did.
No, we didn't. We had a lot of people just tell us that our things were vanilla. I'm not bitter. No bitterness here.
No, not at all. It's not like that comment stuck with us.
I don't like that. It's not like it haunts me and every time I can't eat vanilla ice cream anymore.
Okay, Pierre. So I would be in a breakout room with him and he'd be like, oh yeah, last night I went to this party and I met Angelina Jolie and she like invited me into her car and then we went to this club. I was like, you're a liar.
Like he literally told us something about like, Oh, the golf course that I go to is also the same golf course that Brad Pitt goes to. And I talked to him in the locker room. And I said, what? There's a locker room and golf course? Like,
wait, that actually checks out. I feel like they do have. I feel like they do.
I don't know. I haven't dated anyone playing golf, and that's the only way I'd be going to a golf place. So
I do buy that they do have locker rooms.
Okay.
But I don't buy that Brad Pitt was there.
It was a lot of name dropping. So then like when people do that, it's like maybe it is real, but also maybe, it's embellished. I don't know. That being said, he's like the most like negative Australian person.
Oh yeah.
Like he had like kind of like a darker side to him.
Yeah, there was something in his eyes.
Yeah.
It scared me. And I was glad that I didn't have to meet him in person, if I'm being honest.
Have you used any improv techniques at like your work or like in life?
I would say like the yes and technique.
Okay.
That will stick with me for life.
Actually, yeah. And you should explain that to people because maybe they don't know what that is.
So yes and is like the fundamental principle of improv.
Yep.
Where people will throw out what they call gifts into a scene. They'll just give you a little nugget of information or a random quirk for their character. And it's encouraged that you just embrace that. It can add chaos to the scene, but you just embrace it and you heighten it and you add on to it. And that's kind of the yes and. You accept and you elevate.
So like I could maybe tell Eric like, hey, I love that macaroni shaped hat that you're wearing.
And then I would go, thank you. I'm sponsored by Kraft Mac and Cheese.
Yeah, and then
no, this is better.
Nope, that's what you chose. No, you chose that because then I could because that was perfect. Because then I could be like, oh my God, the sponsors are here. Like that just you saying that back, that gave me an idea too. So it's like, oh my God, the sponsors are here for the Olympics or something.
Oh my God, see, this is why I don't do improv anymore.
No, you were so good. I'm so bummed. I want you to do like improv again.
It was really fun. Well, I'm glad that you continued. I mean, you're not doing, you are doing some improv here and there.
I just do it for fun. I'm not like, I was thinking of maybe joining a group, but I don't know.
I think you should.
I want to, but it needs to make sense with my schedule.
Well, you're a very busy person. You work in a jewelry store and you design jewelry too.
I don't really design jewelry, but like I just, it's like my family business. So sometimes they go, oh, we should do this. I go, oh, okay, cool. And that's basically how it works. Yeah.
Wait, I swear you showed me like a necklace and you're like, I designed this.
Maybe. that sounds about right.
You don't even remember?
Nope.
Oh.
I don't know. When you're making stuff, you just go, yeah, this is it. But yeah.
And then on top of that, you have your own business.
Yes. I have my own business with my best friend. We're called Cactus and Cedar. My friend is the cactus because she's from Arizona. And then I'm the cedar tree because I'm Lebanese. And we're just both plants. But we also, we like to make like funny, greeting cards and like with like she does like the really cool art, and then I'll like make it into a card or make it into a t-shirt or hats. Like I'm really into the embroidered hats right now. So you take those things that you make and you bring them to like farmers markets, right? Or craft fairs. Yep, I do both. I wanted to get your take on this because I want you to either validate me or shut me down. So when I go to any sort of farmers market or craft fair, I get huge anxiety because I feel like if I start talking to someone, I'm obligated to buy from them. So then when I end up not buying something, I feel very guilty. So I wanted to know, as a vendor, how does it feel when you have a 5-minute conversation with someone and then they leave without purchasing anything? I don't mind it because a lot of people, the goal is obviously to get a sale. But also, I kind of just want to enjoy, like, I just want to be like, look at this funny thing I made. Like, I also just enjoy that. Okay. And I just like to also just make people laugh, which is why we made funny cards. I have greeting cards and anti-greeting cards. So it's really just kind of like sharing laughter. And I also... What is an anti-greeting card for? I basically said, like, you can roast your friends or humble your enemies. Ooh. And we also send it anonymously on our website as well. Oh, so they don't even know who it's from? Yes. So I can even write a handwritten note. So I've also handwritten, like, I've had a girl send it to her ex-boyfriend, and then it'll just say it's from us. So, and I also send, like, a little disclaimer, like, hey, this was sent to you anonymously by a friend, an enemy, or a frenemy, you know. So
that's dangerous.
It is dangerous, but we have to just also remind them, like, this could be, you know, real or it could be fake. Because I did have one recently. I posted it on our Instagram. They wanted me to write in a thank you card, one of our thank you cards, which I was like, oh, someone has an anonymous message in our thank you card. That sounds fun. I had to write, you'll want to thank me later. Rob is cheating on you. Best of luck. Yeah.
Oh.
Or something like that. I forgot but it was basically the gist of that. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I wasn't sure if I should send something like that. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just the dumb carrier pigeon in this. And that's basically what it is.
So you did it.
I did do it. But I didn't hear back. I never heard.
That was going to be my question. Have you ever heard back? Like,
I haven't.
Return to sender or something like that?
No, I haven't. I have had people cancel a whole package. Like, I sent a whole package out. It was a Mother's Day note. And I wrote like a nice message in it. And it was already in the post office and it sent. And someone, when a customer asked me, can you please like cancel the package? I said, I don't have the power to do that. But the Postal Service can do that, but I can't. And that's when I learned you apparently can, like, if you pay a certain fee, you can have it delivered back.
It was an anonymous gift?
Card, and it was a Mother's Day card.
Was it mean? Do you remember?
I don't know. It was kind of backhanded compliment.
Oh.
And I feel like that's probably what stopped them. Because it was from one state to another. So obviously they don't live together.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe an ex-husband to an ex-wife type of thing.
Ooh, that's scandalous.
That's what it felt like, because the message was something like, something about like, Happy Mother's Day to this person who I think is a good mother, no matter what anyone says.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was
what are
like,
people saying?
Yeah. So exactly. So I was like, okay, but then it just kind of even ended on a nice note after that. So I was like, all right, whatever. This guy wants me to send it. And that turned into a whole, like, you had to pay like an additional like $20 to like post office for them to cancel it. And now it got sent back to me.
Did you have to like refund him?
No, I didn't refund them. Actually, all of our cards I don't refund. I don't do exchanges on cards. They're only $6. You can eat that cost. Yeah, you can do it.
If you have regret, that's on you.
Yeah, like, come on. Like, Jesus. If you have a regret on a greeting card, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you got all the way to the checkout. It's like you did it on your own. But you asked me, you feel bad and you get anxiety not talking. I hate when people ignore me. Like, if you want to see on the other side of the thing, I can't stand if I'm literally saying just hi to someone and they just like give me a weird look and keep walking.
Oh,
that's where I get a little like aggressive, but in a nice way. And I start to pretend like I'm a ghost. And I go, can she see me? Can anyone see me?
Oh, that's aggressive.
I know, I get aggressive. And then the person's like looking back, like, what the heck is wrong with this person? And then I just let it go, because I just get kind of like, yes, I want you to stop by. I honestly just want you to glance over at our store. I also just enjoy talking to people. And also, again, this is another way to make people laugh. So that's my favorite thing to do. I also say, like, if people like, walk away from my business, sometimes they follow me and then buy something later.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I don't have to be as anxious anymore.
I hope you're not. I know I can feel that maybe in a sense, some people are anxious. Sometimes people will stand like 10 feet away and try to read stuff. And I'm like, come closer, like, don't be shy. We don't bite. Well, sometimes, sometimes we bite, but.
That is such a dad joke.
It is a dad joke. Well, this is a bunch of greeting cards with silly sayings. It's going to happen.
That's true. It's all dad jokes in the end.
It is all dad
We're
jokes.
all just dads in the end. Okay, we're going to move on to the Hoot and Holler portion of the podcast. I have my guest give me a hoot and a holler. The hoot is something positive that they'd like to shout out to the world. And the holler is something negative that they want to highlight for everyone's awareness.
I just watched Inside Out 2. I thought that was a good movie. I would shout out.
It's like a half-hearted hoot.
It's a half-hearted hoot. I guess it's not a full hoot. I'm not like, whoa, you need to go out and see it. It was good. I liked it. What else should I really like Chappell Roan. She's definitely like shot to stardom. And do you know her music?
I've heard it.
It's very fun. It's very like, it feels like 80s nostalgic, but almost like still modern today. Her songs are very fun and like are fun to dance to. I just feel like she really speaks for like this generation. She just has a really unique voice as well, and her performance style is so fun. People keep comparing her to Freddie Mercury or David Bowie. Just just like her showmanship, being on stage. Anyway, being present on stage is like a really big thing, but like she can get the crowd going. Like that takes something, right? Like that's a huge like star power to do.
So her lyrics really speak to you.
Her stuff is it just reminds me of like 90s and 80s nostalgia almost. Like I watched Lisa Frankenstein and it felt like her music would have just fit right into that. And Lisa Frankenstein is set in the 80s. Mm-hmm. It's just, her whole style is just, I just love it.
That's a good hoot.
It's a good, thank you. I tried. We got there. We got there. What's your hoot?
My hoot this week is the beach.
All of the beach.
Everything about the beach.
Okay.
So I used to live in Florida.
Yes.
And I was very close to the beach, but I hated it for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay.
It was maybe the sand, heat,
maybe it was
the
Florida.
Water.
Maybe it was Florida. But like I dreaded going. But now all of a sudden this summer, I'm like a beach person. Like I go into the water. This is exciting.
I like float around.
Oh, okay.
I build little castles. I throw a frisbee, listen to music.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's so much fun.
Nice.
And I think everyone should get into their beach era this summer.
All right. I can't believe we have a whole Your whole job is beach.
Yeah, my whole job is beach this summer.
That's really exciting. I do like the beach. Honestly, when I went to Hawaii last year for I was there for my friend's wedding. And every single day, I'm not joking, every day if we're at we would just go and swim in the morning in the ocean.
Wow.
It was so and you can swim over there because it's not god awful cold like it is here.
Well, that's the thing. I would have never thought about going in the water in the California beaches because it's so cold.
It's so cold.
But my friends wanted to go and I was like, okay, I guess I'll go. And it was nice. Like there's that initial shock where you're freezing for a second.
Yeah.
But within a couple seconds, like less than a minute, you're settled in. It feels amazing.
Yeah.
This is the year of the beach. And for all the Pisces out there, you will feel healed. And even if you're not a Pisces, I think this still applies to you.
It's the water signs in us.
It's the water signs, yeah.
This is it. My holler is oversaturated inspirational quotes.
Oh, I relate to this.
So sick of seeing that everywhere. Like it does not bring me any inspiration or motivation or joy. There's this one quote I cannot stand. And it's something like, but what if I fall? And then the response is, oh, but darling, what if you fly?
Oh, wow.
And I hate it. It's so dumb. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what do you mean? What if you could fly? Like, you're not a bird. Like, it doesn't, nothing makes sense.
Maybe it's directed towards like the blue jay population.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not meant for you.
I guess not. It's not meant for me at all. Because I saw it, like, I swear, like, I've seen it on people's, like on their Instagram, and I've seen it on Pinterest.
The whole, like, the call and response.
The whole thing.
And I'm like, is it like person 1, but what if I fall, person 2? Like, how do they write that out?
It's just like 2 quotes. Just below each other.
Okay, that's a lot simpler.
Usually, or just the whole quote, and it's like in italics. Like, I just hate the whole thing so much because it's like it's just stupid. But what if I fail? But what if you don't? Wow, wow.
But
I feel motivated.
There's still a very real possibility you fall and you die.
I guess, yeah. If you want to take it literal.
What do you think that's meant to apply to?
I think it really is just being like people who are very possibly just think everything's gonna go wrong all the time.
Oh my God, wait.
I know. Eric is like speaking to me.
What if this is meant for me and like this podcast? Because I was like really nervous to start it for a long time.
But what if this takes off?
But what if
if you fly, Eric?
Wait, I relate to this quote.
Okay, good. Because someone's gonna have to. Because every time I see it, I just get angry because I go, this doesn't make any sense.
Maybe you need to grow. You still have room to grow. Oh my God.
Maybe I need to keep hooting.
Are there other quotes that also annoy you, or is it just this one?
I don't know. Funnily enough, I am a words of affirmation type of person.
Really?
But so I think it's like when I see so many of the same thing over and over.
You create greeting cards.
I do.
You're a words of affirmation person.
Yeah.
But these specific words of affirmation are what get you.
Like, why are we saying the same things over and over again? Like pick a new author. Find someone else to listen to. You can't eat, pray, or love through everything. Like, I'm so sick of it.
So my holler today is parking garages, but specifically the people who park in them.
Okay.
I'm so sick of them.
Like a public parking garage?
A public parking garage. So I parked to go to the mall, and I was walking back to my car, and as I'm entering, this other car pulls up and is waiting for me. And I'm the kind of person who likes to pull up a podcast. I like to get my AC running, adjust my mirrors before I go. So I'm not like rushing out of my car, out of the parking spot.
Yeah.
But there they are with their blinker, and then a line is forming behind them.
Oh.
A long line of cars. And if this person looked 20 feet down, like 3 cars past mine, the entire parking lot is open.
Oh, really?
Every single spot.
Yeah.
But they wanted my spot.
Right.
Because it's 20 feet closer to the entrance of the mall.
Okay.
Why do we do this as a society? It also bothers me when like people will sit in the middle of the parking lot waiting for someone to back out when if they went up one floor, the entire lot is open.
Okay. So I have been both of those people. I've been the person.
You're the problem.
I'm the problem, but I've been both you being like, wait, I need to fix this, or I need to, maybe I'm like eating a snack before, or I don't know. But I've also been the person being like, get out of the parking lot, or at least wave to me. Like, I need the other person to be like, I'm not going anywhere.
It wasn't a thing where it's like, oh, I didn't realize that there was an open spot right there. It was the entire rest of the parking garage was empty.
That's really weird.
Yeah. I'm not that upset about being inconvenienced.
What kind of holler is this?
It is, well, okay, I am upset, but I also think it would help them.
Okay.
Because the amount of time they're also wasting by sitting there waiting for this person to pull out, if you just move to the next row, you're going to be fine. Like,
You're going to be fine.
You're going to save time.
You're going to be just
the
fine.
time you're going to save going up to the second floor and immediately pulling into a spot.
Okay.
Is going to be faster than you waiting on the first floor for 10 minutes for someone to leave.
I'd like to see, like, is there like some sort of like lab rat thing we could do with this? I feel like this needs to be studied.
We need to set up
rats.
a study because people they'll just like circle. That. They'll circle the first floor.
Yeah,
and I don't know. They refuse. And this isn't like
so
someone
it's like laziness then.
Yes. But
so
that's the thing. It's like
people being lazy.
It's not even lazy because you're spending so much time and effort circling that first floor when you could just go up to the second floor. I think that's the even lazier thing to do.
Yeah, maybe. I also think I mean, we're in like the LA County area and everyone here is very much in a rush to something. So that's just unfortunately how it is over here.
I feel like you're being like a little cagey about this. Like, I feel like you are like, you're not fully on board with this.
What about the parking garages that have, this is how many spots there are?
No, I hate those because they lie.
Really?
Well, they lie. They're always like,
really?
oh, there's 300 spots on this floor.
The
and then
green,
and then you drive in and they're all full. And it'll have a green dot, but there's a car there.
Oh.
Those sensors never, ever work.
Sometimes they're a lie.
My solution was going to be like, maybe we need to switch to like a Disneyland model. So we have some sort of garage attendant and they just filter everyone straight to the top, send everyone to the top floor first, and then we can funnel down. Are you on board with that?
That's interesting. I don't know. I'm not on board with that either.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Maybe I should save this for another episode, but why do we have to pay for parking garages?
I don't, you know what? It's just another money grab for what?
For what? Because I'm assuming like the landlord is making money from rent, but then you still need to get more money from the people visiting these companies to keep them in business. The math isn't mathing.
It doesn't make any sense.
It should be a free public service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's... Oh, okay. So the way we end the episode...
Oh, okay.
...is I'm going to say, well, that's all the time we have. We got to go. And then we're like, we got to go. Bye. So we're going to say like, we got to go.
Okay. At the same time or just like you say we got to go? Like, we got to go.
Like I'll say we got to go and then we'll both be like, it doesn't have to be at exactly the same time, but we just kind of like...
Okay, got you.
We're like, we got to go.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I forget how to do this. Okay, here we go. Well, that's all the time we have today for the... Wait, that's bad. Well, that's all the time we have... That's all the time we have for today? That's all the time we have today.
You can also thank you Maybe you could thank me for coming on the podcast.
Well, that's all the time we have today, but thank you so much for joining, Michelle.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me. And it was fun talking about improv and stand up and my dog occasionally.
And Coco.
And Coco.
She's got to make an appearance.
Shout out to Coco.
Well, shout out to you. I mean, where can people find you?
So you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I do have a YouTube channel and don't really have that many followers there, so that'll be fun. Basically everywhere at Michelle Tobbi, and that's with 2 L's, Michelle, and then Tobbi, Tobbi. You can also find our my small business, Cactus and Cedar. We have a website, cactusandcedar.com. Send an anonymous message to your friend. It's always fun. I enjoy reading them.
You're going to have to come back to the pod, I think.
Oh, okay, definitely. I'll definitely come back.
Because we have things to talk about in the theme park realm.
Oh, yeah. We definitely. Oh, okay, yes. I did mention earlier I worked at Disneyland for 4 years. So
there's a lot to unpack there.
There's a lot of therapy, if this can be a therapy session next time.
Oh, yeah. I'll be your therapist. Let's do it.
Tell us where Mickey Mouse hurt you.
Tell us where he touched you. No.
Tell us where he touched you. They're not going to have me back. I already can tell.
Actually,
they're like, put her on the list. She's not coming back.
You know, I think we got to go.
Oh, yeah. We got to go.
We got to go.
We
gotta
should go. We gotta go.
We gotta. Bye.
Bye.